Excuse me. Welcome guys to the line change. In this video, we're going to be recapping Game 3 of the Abbotsford Canucks versus Charlotte Checkers game. I'm a day late. Apologies for that. But we're going to dive right into it. But before I do that, I want to quickly thank my sponsor, Gassy Jack Art, maker of that incredible artwork you see there behind me. You can't see one of them. Here, there you go. Maker of that incredible artwork you see behind me. You guys can check them out, GassyJackArt.com. They have that end of season sale where you can buy 4 prints and get 2 prints for free. You can find them on Instagram at GassyJackArt, but check them out, GassyJackArt.com. All right, so let's get into the game recap. The Abbotsford Canucks and the Charlotte Checkers. This breakdown and recap is obviously brought to you by our friends at Canucks Army. And let's go ahead and dive right into it. All it took was a hit from behind for the Abbotsford Canucks to rattle off 5 straight goals against one of the most dominant AHL teams of the 2024-25 Calder Cup playoffs. There was legitimate reason to be concerned heading into Abbotsford's first of a 3-game home set against the Checkers. Yes, the Canucks' road trip may have ended with a split, but those first 2 games couldn't have gone worse for Abbotsford under the hood. The Charlotte Checkers thoroughly dominated. At 5-on-5, the Canucks had been outshot by a 2-1 margin, scraping by thanks to a 10% shooting clip, which helped narrow the goal-scoring gap to a 4-3 margin. At face value, those numbers were like 3-4 Roentgen. I don't know how you pronounce that word. Per hour, not bad, not terrible. Then you get into the 5v5 stats where the game was tied, where the picture looked significantly worse for Abbotsford. At the most critical juncture of play, the Canucks had been outshot 51-20 and outscored 2-0. To say they struggled to generate at the game's crucial moments would be an understatement. The power play numbers were even wonkier in Charlotte's favor, likely why head coach Manny Malhotra drew Jonathan Lekkerimäki back into the lineup for Game 3 in Abbotsford. While the rookie Swede has failed to manufacture shots on goal at the same rate as he did during the regular season, the team's desperate need for even a potential volume shooter for the man advantage was essential, which makes it all the more ironic that the Canucks' speedy power play efficiency negated the need for Lekkerimäki's penchant for shot volume at all. Heading into Game 3, our 2 finalists were spotted 10 power play opportunities apiece during the series' first 2 games. The Canucks scored 3 times against 8 total shots on goal, a hair under a shot per power play opportunity. The Charlotte Checkers registered 29 shots over 10 opportunities, converting twice, a hair under 3 shots per power play opportunity. Though it wasn't ideal, the Canucks went 3 for 3 on the PK, conceding 3 shots on each of Charlotte's opportunities. Circling back to the first 2 games, the Checkers recorded 6 shots on RD Silovs while shorthanded. Effectively, the Canucks barely outshot the shorthanded Checkers while on the man advantage. Though Game 3 was more of the same, with Abbotsford taking a long time to manufacture credible offense while getting hammered by shot volume. On the PK, they kept as even as they could in all situations, shot volume, and earned one of their most impressive victories of this Calder Cup playoff run, thanks to their ability to manufacture offense when it mattered most, both at 5-on-5 and on the man advantage. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for Game 3. It was Baines, Sasson, and Carlson as your first line, Di Giuseppe, Mueller, and Lekkerimäki as your second line, with obviously Lekkerimäki drawn back into the lineup. You had Blais, Kara, and Smith as your third line, and then your fourth line was Nielsen, Waters, and Klimovich. Your D pairings were Breezewell and Mancini as your top pairing. Your second pairing was Wolanin and Wu, followed by your third pairing, Hirose and Kudryavtsev, and of course, Artur Silovs in goal. Let's take a look at the first period. Inside the opening minute, Lekkerimäki drove through the neutral zone, drawing the Checkers' Justin Sordev off the blue line, springing Jet Wu down the left wing for a backhander off the crossbar. Malhotra seemed to have taken a page or 2 out of the Checkers' method of attack, as the Canucks' blue liners were activating early and often with the puck from out of the backhand and through the neutral zone. After Wu's rush chance, Victor Mancini followed suit with a crisp drive through neutral territory. picking up a rebound in the slot for a quick shot attempt. Off a face-off win, Christian Wolanin registered a handful of shot attempts that Kakkonen steered aside. On his second shift of the Calder Cup Finals, the Karamaki kept an offensive zone cycle alive for Abbotsford, tying up and out-muscling the much larger veteran Trevor Carrick. Alongside the half wall, the Karamaki's quality physical effort led to a shot attempt for Kirill Kudratsev. 5 minutes into a fast-paced period, Sami Blais wound up on the wrong end of a neutral zone hit attempt on ex-Canuck Will Lockwood. Blais had missed a period of action in Game 2 following a hit from behind, and the reverse hit from Lockwood sent him down the tunnel for the second time in as many games. Abby's cleanest shot of the period came off a one-timer from Linus Karlsson, set up by a drop pass from Max Sasson. The Canucks' tenuous grasp on momentum was seemingly lost midway through the period when the Checkers put on a puck possession and work rate clinic against Canucks veteran group featuring Jujhar Khaira, Archie Bains, Nate Smith, Guillaume Brisebois, and Mancini. Every 50-50 puck battle was won by a Checkers skater, and every rebound saw a Checkers skater on it first. The second that the Canucks settled the puck, Mancini failed a simple D-to-D pass behind the goal line. Then Brisebois threw a return pass from Bains up the guts of the ice. Unsurprisingly, Abbotsford's baffling puck management and a lack of energy gave way to the opening goal for Charlotte. Charlotte would score to make it 1-0. Oliver Ocular from Matt Kierstad and Mikulas Horvoka. Lukamaki's solid finals debut included this slick end-to-end weave through the middle of the ice for a wrist shot wide of Kakkonen's net. With 4 minutes left in the opening frame, Akito Hirose took a high-sticking penalty, giving the lethal Checkers the evening's first power play opportunity. They maintained their shooting average, recording 3 shots on Silovs, including a howitzer from Jesse Poyarvi. Fortunately, the Canucks' PK stood tall, sending the game back to 5-on-5. A handful of shots from Abbotsford over the final 2 minutes saw the home team finish the period down 9-8 in shots and 1-0 on the scoreboard. The real positive momentum came from Blais, who returned to the bench midway through the period and finished the game with several crushing hits on the forecheck. Not bad, not terrible, could have been worse, could have also been a lot better. Let's take a look at the second period now. Both teams came out with considerable jumps for the second period, lots of hitting, lots of end-to-end skates, and extremely tight back-checking, leading to very few shots on the net. A string of backhand passes through the neutral zone from Kudratsev and Karlsson sent Sasson and Bains into the offensive zone for a wicked rush chance for Abbotsford's first shot of the period. 5 minutes into the period, Nate Smith drew a hooking penalty against fellow veteran Rasmus Asplund, giving Abbotsford a small window to build off their momentum with a critical power play opportunity. During a reset from the D zone, Bains blew a tire, chasing down an errant pass from Linus Karlsson, gifting the speedy Will Lockwood a glorious shorthanded scoring chance from point-blank range. Fortunately, the Canucks responded quickly with a fantastic equalizer from Sami Blais off a brilliant no-look backhand pass from Linus Karlsson. Abbotsford would tie it up to make it 1-1. Sami Blais from Linus Karlsson and Archie Bains. Blais's equalizer was noticeable as it was the first time all game that any Canuck had found empty space outside of Kakkonen's crease. Like their parent club, the Checkers rarely give an inch. That Karlsson had the wherewithal to capitalize on this rare opportunity with a cross-ice backhander, while under pressure was nothing short of spectacular. Blais' finish was something else, but that pass was crucial. Midway through the frame, every skater began throwing checks with reckless abandon, and the roughing minors began piling up. Justin Sordev took a penalty for dropping a knee onto Archie Bains' chest. Max Sasson took a penalty for removing Sordev's helmet. Sami Blais took a double minor for roughing. Sordev took a second roughing penalty. Oliver Ocular threw a shoulder into Silovs during a stoppage in play, and Jehu kicked a puck toward Kakkonen during a stoppage in play. Don't get me wrong, it was relentlessly entertaining. However, it was barely hockey. I'm all for post-whistle shenanigans, but 2 minutes to settle things after every single whistle got tiresome real quick. Tristan Nielsen threw a Rafi Torres-esque hit on the giant Mikulas Hovorka, which got the crowd roaring with applause. During Blais's double minor, the Checkers recorded another 3 shots on Seelovs, including a shot off the crossbar, while Sasson drove end-to-end for a select shorthanded chance for Abbotsford. The farm team finished the period on the scoreboard, or tied on the scoreboard, but down in shots 18-15. Mid-period shenanigans seemed to stifle both teams' ability to generate any considerable momentum. Let's take a look at the third period, and this is the period you're going to want to hear about. The third period returned to looking like a hockey game. An early cycle for Charlotte saw John Leonard rifle a shot off Seelovs' stick from point-blank range. Not long after, Abbotsford broke the stalemate with an incredible passing sequence that began with the previously mentioned dangerous check from behind against Archdeep Baines. Undeterred by the collision, Baines backhanded a pass from his rear end out to Sasson, who curled toward the net, drawing in 3 of Charlotte's skaters despite considerable traffic. Sasson dished a picture-perfect saucer pass to Linus Karlsson for the tap-in goal past Kakanen's outstretched right pad. As we just mentioned, Abby would make it 2-1. Linus Karlsson from Sasson and Baines. For the second time in the game, the Canucks won a key puck battle while under pressure, manufactured space, and threaded a crucial goal sequence off of it. Baines has been an underrated key figure in Abbotsford's playoff run, and he was clearly feeling it in the third period. Receiving an entry pass from Kudratsev, Baines fought the mammoth Hovorka tooth and nail for a twisting backhander into Kakanen's pads. 6 minutes into the frame, Christian Wolanin sparked a near-brawl, horse-collaring Wilmer Skoog to prevent Jet Wu from facing a 2-on-1 post-whistle scrum against John Leonard and the aforementioned Skoog. Midway through the period, the whistles for legitimate infractions seemingly disappeared. Sasson had his stick slashed out of his hands on a neutral zone rush. Nothing. Ty Mueller hooked after winning a board battle in the D zone. Nothing. With 8:33 left in the game, the whistles were brought out of storage when Linus Karlsson drew a clear high-sticking infraction against Oliver Aguilar. For the second straight time in the period, the Canucks looked for the goal line cross-ice tap-in play. However, after a successful cycle around the perimeter, Karlsson's one-timer wasn't necessary as Baines' cross-ice feed deflected off the stick of Trevor Carrick and into the empty net, making the score 3-1 for the Canucks. Baines from Wolanin and Karlsson. Looking to improve their team's already absurd +12 third-period goal differential, Arturi Seelovs joined the party by stretching a pass to Phil DiGiuseppe for the team's third straight of the period to make it 4-1. DiGiuseppe from Artur Seelovs. DiGiuseppe's rush goal was the 4th instance of Abbotsford scoring on Kakanen's blocker's side. A penalty to Akito Hirose in the final 6 minutes gave Charlotte a late 6-on-4, with Kakinen pulled for the extra attacker. The Canucks' penalty kill was sharp, clearing the zone numerous times and requiring another 3 saves from Seelovs. With Hirose's infraction in the books, Checkers head coach Jordy Kinnear kept Kakinen on the bench for an extended 6-on-5 opportunity. After a successful D-zone faceoff win by Max Sasson, Linus Karlsson made a fantastic diving effort at the blue line to force the puck out to Baines for the empty netter to make it 5-1. Baines from Karlsson. Since he hadn't played much the third period, Justin Nielsen made his one shift of the third period count in a major way on the ensuing post-empty netter faceoff. After picking off the textbook definition of an errant pass from Charlotte's Jesse Puljujarvi, Nielsen drove up the guts of the ice and drew Kakinen onto his belly before slipping the puck through the open 5-hole to make it 6-1. Nielsen from, jokingly, Puljujarvi. Incredibly, the final 2 minutes played without too much roughhousing or drama from the visiting squad. That would signal the end of the game. The Abbotsford Canucks would end up winning 6-1 in a dominating third period. And Canucks Army's 3 stars were Archdeep Baines, Artur Seelovs, and Linus Karlsson. Next game is technically today. Canucks and Checkers are going to run it back at 7 p.m. Pacific, where Abbey will have a shot at extending their series lead to 3-1. Obviously, the last game, this game, and then a third game will be in Abbotsford. If the Abbey Canucks are able to close it out at home, that would be absolutely fantastic. But that's going to do it for this recap. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you guys like this video, be sure to hit that like button. And if you want to stay up to date on all Canucks content, whether that's Abbotsford Canucks, Vancouver Canucks, be sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you don't miss a single video. You can also find us on social media. You can find us on Facebook. Just search The Line Change to find our Facebook page. You can find us on Instagram at The Line Change. You can find us on X at Line Change Van. You can find us on TikTok at the.line.change.po. And feel free to give us a follow on all of our social media platforms. If you prefer an audio version of this podcast, you can find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Once again, on Spotify, feel free to give us a follow as well as rate and review us. That's going to do it for me in this recap video. As always, let's go Canucks. Let's go Abby Canucks. And I'll see you guys in the next video.